Oh, what movie are we going to see? The what? The BFG. See you guys in a bit. The BFG was incredible, guys. I would highly recommend checking that out. Good evening, everybody. Matt here, and welcome to my fragrance obsession. In this episode, I am going to be reviewing a fragrance, a rather old fragrance. In fact, 20 years this fragrance was released. In 1996, this is one of the older releases from the house of Alfred Dunhill. Now, I purchased this fragrance today from the Metro Centre, and me and my brother went out and we had a bit of a brotherly sort of few hours in the Metro Centre, which of course, in case you guys don't know, is one of my most favourite places to fragrance shop. But not only did I go shopping or anything, I mean that's where I got this shirt today. Hope you like it. And I did also get to go to the cinema where I saw with my brother for the first time The Big Friendly Giant, or simply known as the BFG. Amazing movie in my I was about to say amazing fragrance there, bloody hell. Amazing movie, honestly, really enjoyed it. I've wanted to see it for so long and I'm so glad that I did. So if you guys have any kids that are wanting to, get out and maybe see some of the movies, I would highly recommend that movie. It's amazing and my brother really enjoyed it. So let's get back to this fragrance review. Now, D by Alfred Dunhill. This fragrance came out in 1996, so this year is its 20th anniversary. It's known as a Oriental Woody or an Oriental Fresh fragrance. And the perfumer, now this is the reason why I wanted this fragrance. The perfumer is Gerard Anthony. And if you guys have never heard of who Gerard Anthony is, he's the guy who created such classics such as Azara Pourant, which is an amazing fragrance that came out in 1978, and one of my personal favorites, Balenciaga Pourant. Now, when I heard about that Gerard Anthony had created this fragrance, I was immediately excited. The one thing that I really thought about when I thought of this fragrance was the fact that I was hoping for it to be unique. And unique it is. I'll tell you something. This fragrance is so beautiful that I cannot believe that this is one of the most unpopular fragrances from the house. It's one of the oldest, so 1996 it came out. So, I mean, it's not as old as the likes of, Dunhill for Men, which came out in the 1930s, or Dunhill Edition, which I believe came out in 1984. So it's not as old as the likes of those fragrances, but it's, 20 years old is a good age for a fragrance, I think. But yes, it's classed as an old fragrance, but this is an amazing fragrance. Now, before really wanting to smell it and buying it, I looked on Fragrantica, as you do. I think it's every fragrance collector's ideal website when checking out fragrances. That's where I found out that Gerard Anthony had created this, and that's what probably excited me the most. But what really excited me was the fact that a lot of people had been really praising this fragrance. But also a lot of people had said that it was a bit synthetic and whatnot, but personally I don't think it is. I think this is a really well blended scent. I will get onto that when I talk about the smell. But however, I do think that this fragrance was so appealing when I saw it on Fragrantica. A lot of the things that people said about it really caught my attention. And a lot of people have compared it to fragrances like Calvin Klein Escape, which I will be honest, it does smell a bit similar, but I will talk about that in a second. A lot of people have compared it to Aramis Cool Blend, which unfortunately I haven't smelled. And another one which I haven't smelled, which is, what's it called? Cartier Roadster. I haven't checked that one out either. So, yeah, I mean, when I saw that this fragrance was a little bit similar to all of those, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, okay, well, Escape's an amazing fragrance, so I might as well check it out. And this fragrance only cost me £15 from the fragrance shop, which is a very ideal, inexpensive fragrance, outlet here in the UK. I mean, it's pretty decent. Now, because I've got the notes written down over here, I am going to have to, not look at you guys for a second, just so I can tell you the notes. Now, here they are. Now, it said on Fragrantica that this fragrance is a refined, stylish, cool, and dry fragrance. Those aren't my vibes, by the way, but that's what Fragrantica said, and, I'll talk about that in a second. But this fragrance opens up with the notes of lemon, mandarin, pepper, spearmint, cypress, and rosewood. In the middle, we get lavender, lily of the valley, freesia, geranium, jasmine, and white rose. And in the base, we get sandalwood, cedar, musk, amber, moss, tonka bean, and bourbon vanilla. Bloody hell. Okay, so there's a lot of notes in this fragrance for starters, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it on here. Yeah, this is what really disappointed me. I mean, this bottle is beautiful. Like, the bottle is kind of reminiscent to a lot of older Dunhill fragrances, like the original Dunhill for Men, and it also looks a bit like Dunhill Edition, apart from the cap is made of plastic, but it's really nice, and we get this like little feature on here where it says Alfred Dunhill. I really like that. But here's what's really disappointing. The atomizer looks so cheap. I mean, yes, this cost me £15, okay? But I was expecting a better atomizer than this. But yeah, I mean, let's just get straight into it. Now, I have heard on Fragrantica as well, a lot of people have said that this is a very hard to find discontinued scent. I don't think it's discontinued, but I think it's hard to find. So I'm just going to put that out there. Now, in terms of smell, what do I get when I first smell this? Okay, so I don't want to get any alcohol. I should have sprayed from far away, so it doesn't matter anymore though, does it? Okay, let's just see what it's like. Okay, so my first reaction to this fragrance was very nice. This is unusual, this is different, this is good. Very fresh, very clean, sort of like stepping out of the shower sort of clean, and very classy. Very, very classy. So that there's a lot of vibes in there that I'm picking up. So it's clean, it's fresh, it's very classy. I think I already said classy, I don't know. Sort of fruity as well. It's got those citruses in the top, but overall just very refreshing. A very refreshing, refined scent. So the notes that I pick up in the opening, like the ones that stand out to me, are definitely the lemon and the bergamot. Like, you get the lemon straight away, but I think the most dominant note, well, probably not the most dominant, but the most detectable note, I think, that a lot of people will realize when they smell this fragrance is the spearmint. Now, I'm not a big fan of mint when it comes to fragrances, but I think that the spearmint in this smells great. I mean, mint is nice, I think, in a sort of summery, cool fragrance. It's what adds that cool vibe. But I think in this fragrance, obviously, you know, spearmint as opposed to peppermint is a lot more calm. It's more sweet. That's what I was thinking of. It's more sweet. It's not as it's not as sharp as what a peppermint is, you know. This one is definitely more subtle. It's more warm, and I think it blends the wood notes in this fragrance a lot more, which you get more on the dry down. But we also get in the top that rosewood, which I think really adds a nice floral take, and it really makes the fragrance very powdery. Someone on Fragrantica said that this was a very soapy scent. Maybe like the tiniest bit. I think it's more powdery than soapy. I think a lot of people get mixed up. A lot of people think that when they get a powdery scent, they automatically call it a soapy scent. Well, not all soapy scents are powdery, you know? I think they're both similar sort of moods for fragrances, but I wouldn't say that it was soapy in any way, shape or form. It's clean, like I said, out of the shower sort of smell, but that's about it. It's not soapy to me. In the middle, like, I mean, we get those notes like, where's it at? There we go. So we get a lot more of those floral notes. We get the lavender and the lily of the valley. We also get the freesia, geranium, jasmine, and white rose. Now, I've never smelled the white rose. I mean, I know what normal rose smells like. It's, you know, a beautiful note. But the white rose in this, I mean, I'm pretty positive that it's a white rose note that I'm getting. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Like, the fragrance smells white. When I think of something smelling white, I think of something bright. I think of something clean, fresh, slightly powdery. That's what I get. And I don't know if that's coming from the white rose, but overall, it's a sort of white, fresh, clean scent. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, in the dry down, I mean, we get that sandalwood. I think you can pretty much smell the sandalwood throughout the whole scent. Like, from when you first smell this fragrance, the sandalwood is pretty strong. But it's not like to the point where it's gonna, I think it's gonna make a complete woody base, because not to mention we are getting that tonka bean and bourbon vanilla. I haven't smelled the bourbon vanilla in this fragrance yet, but I don't think that the fragrance is going to be so woody to the point where it's just going to be a normal bland woody dry down. I think that the vanilla in this fragrance, because you don't smell it straight away, I think the vanilla, I know I'm rambling on a bit here, but I think that the vanilla note will really start to come into magic maybe after a couple of hours. Because bourbon vanilla compared to like a normal vanilla note, bourbon vanilla is a bold, sort of creamy vanilla. I think that that's what this is going to turn into. It's going to turn into this very nice, slightly floral, bold bourbon vanilla dry down. Quite creamy, but very sweet nevertheless. But beautiful scent. Honestly, this is a gorgeous fragrance. I think I would honestly recommend this fragrance to anybody who's into fragrances, like seriously, because this is unpopular and it's quite sad because it's an amazing fragrance. I mean, the only thing that I hate about this is the atomizer. It looks so cheap. They could have really made that look better, but apart from that, it's amazing. It's a nice bottle design. The juice inside is just perfect, and I'm really going to be enjoying this. Now, I'm going for a shower, and I'm going to try it afterwards and see what it's like, but gorgeous fragrance. Now, in terms of when would I wear this? Now, I know I don't do this a lot again. I don't really go into a lot of detail about when you should wear a fragrance. Personally, if you like a fragrance, you can wear it whenever you want, but I think with this one, I think that this is a very nice, very nice autumn fragrance. Now, no, this one I think is perfect for the autumn because it's warm. It's got that amber in the dry down, which I think is very sweet, very romantic. And I think, because when I smell this, I think of an old-fashioned painting of a farm during the harvest months. You know, there's a sun setting, it's very orange, the sky's red, and it's in like a British countryside. That's what I'm kind of getting, because of course this is an English fragrance, Dunhill, this stationed in London, so I think that this is a great fragrance for a modern gentleman who just wants to make himself known and doesn't want to stand out, but wants to make himself known in a good way. I think its closest relative definitely is Calvin Klein's Escape. I would get it, but it's right the way up there. And I'm wearing the most ugliest shorts right now. I don't even want to show you. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because this is going on too long. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a great evening. Keep smelling good. And bye-bye for now.